Raheem, a black youngster, 16 years old, is humiliated and irritated after being arbitrarily expelled from a store. Elon Musk strolls in right as he's going to depart. What follows is a shocking turn of events that leaves Raheem and everyone else in the store speechless. The way it all plays out will astound you. Whenever Raheem entered a store, he would often get the odd side eye or unpleasant glance from strangers. He was taller than most 16-year-olds and had an athletic build that gave him the appearance of being older than he actually was. Today, though, Raheem was intent on discovering the ideal laptop and paid no mind to the suspicious looks or murmurs. The store was teeming with consumers anxious to check out the newest electronics, and the weather was perfect for a sunny afternoon. Just for a moment, the air conditioning was a welcome break from the scorching heat outside. The sight of rows upon rows of shiny laptops on polished counters sent a small pulse racing through Raheem's body as he passed through the automated doors. So for him, this was a watershed event. To ensure he was making the greatest decision, he had researched extensively, viewed numerous reviews on YouTube, and compared specifications. He eagerly approached a row of computers, caressing their shiny surfaces with his fingers. However, a shadowy figure materialized behind him as he reached to grab one for closer inspection. "Is there anything I can do to assist you?" A low-pitched voice sliced through the silence. A large, menacing security guard was staring back at Raheem as he spun around. Even though his smile was fading, he maintained a courteous tone. "Oh no, I'm afraid not. I'm merely perusing the area. This laptop is something I'm considering purchasing." With narrowed eyes, the guard scanned Raheem from head to toe. "Are you considering purchasing one?" His voice betrayed his mistrust. "This is the necessary funding available to you." Suddenly taken aback, Raheem blinked. He took out his wallet and displayed the pile of cash he had diligently saved with pride. "Oh, I've been putting money aside for months. That's all I need." With a stern face, the guard crossed his arms. "In general, we don't tolerate aimless wanderers around here. In my opinion, you should go now." Shame overwhelmed Raheem. "Get out. I need to make a purchase. Nothing has been wrong with me." However, the guard paid no attention. He drew nearer, his voice low and threatening. "You won't feel at home here. Nothing will cause us trouble." Suddenly, Raheem's chest tightened. Ideas were flying through his head. His heart rate increased. He looked around and saw that a few customers were staring and muttering to themselves. It felt like something out of a nightmare. Imprisoned, ashamed, and bewildered were his feelings. How has this come to pass? Raheem stutter-talked, his voice barely audible, to the effect that he was not causing incident. "I simply wish to purchase a laptop." The security man suddenly reached over and started dragging Raheem to the door. He stopped, no one intervened, but despite the increasing volume of the bystanders' murmurs, it was as if everything around him was spiraling out of control. Raheem felt the flush of embarrassment rising up his cheeks. Until now, he had never felt helpless and diminutive. As they neared the entry, the automated doors glided open, allowing Elon Musk, a man recognizable to everyone on Earth, to enter. His attire was laid back, consisting of trousers and a simple black t-shirt. He wore a baseball cap and sunglasses, which partially obscured his face. He gave off the impression of being a typical customer, but that was obviously not the case. Everyone in the store went silent the second he entered. Workers stood up, upright as heads cocked, and rumors flew like wildfire. Raheem failed to discern the visitor's identity at first glance due to his engrossment in the tumultuous circumstances. The security guard's eyes widened in shock, and he stopped moving as he let go of Raheem's arm. There was an almost electric vibe in the room due to Elon Musk's presence. Still clutching Raheem's arm, the guard appeared bewildered as to his next move. Evidently perplexed by the disturbance, Musk gingerly took off his sunglasses and locked eyes with the security officer. His voice was composed and commanding as he said, "Is something wrong with this?" The guard fumbled for words, obviously embarrassed. "Absolutely not. I'm sorry, sir. I was just showing this young man the exit for an instant." Musk looked over at Raheem and they exchanged looks. Musk seemed to be looking at him with a mix of interest and worry. He looked up at Raheem's countenance before shifting his gaze to the security guard's hand on his arm. "By the way, what is the purpose of your actions with an increase in volume?" Musk inquired. His self-assurance dwindling, the guard paused. He seemed to be idling. We were concerned he might be up to no good. An eyebrow was arched by Musk. "Trouble?" He allowed the phrase to linger in the air for a time before continuing. There was an obvious air of anxiety throughout the shop. "In my opinion, this young man appears to be a client. So you're claiming he can't set foot in the store?" The face of the guard became pale. "Oh, no, I'm afraid not. Well, of course he can come here and shop, sir." Musk widened his gaze. "I need to talk to your boss." As soon as word got out that one of the wealthiest men in the world was at the store, the middle-aged manager, who was dressed sharply, hurried over. "Excuse me, Mr. Musk. With an infectious energy in his voice, he enthusiastically welcomed customers to our store. Do you need any assistance today? Musk didn't even make an effort to say, hello, this young man is attempting to shop, and I don't understand why your employees are being so hostile toward him. Do you handle all of your customers in this way? And the manager's grin wavered as he hurriedly cast an anxious glance at Raheem. Oh, it seems like there might be a miscommunication. You are all important to us. A cross-chest fold appeared across Musk's face. Oh, really? It appears that this child was expelled without just cause. Standing there in disbelief, Raheem eventually found his voice. I was completely innocent. Buying a laptop was my only intention. As Raheem received a comforting nod from Musk as he turned to face him. So let's address it. The rows of laptops behind them were his indication. Choose the one that suits you best. It's my fault. Raheem perked up. Excuse me. Absolutely not. Just to clarify, Musk put on a soft smile. Indeed, you are capable. All your hard work has paid off. It is unacceptable for anyone to make you feel unwelcome. With a signal for Raheem to return to the laptop section, Musk drew even more hush from the store. Raheem cautiously approached the row of laptops, and the workers, who had been hustling with whispers before, suddenly stood motionless, gazing in wonder. That was otherworldly. Reaching for the laptop he had been admiring minutes earlier, Raheem's hands trembled a little. Musk nodded encouragingly as he gazed back at him. Musk encouraged it, his voice betraying his warmth. Announced as Raheem finally got his hands on the laptop he'd been saving up for months. What was happening seemed unbelievable to him. Thank you, he muttered, his voice barely audible, yet Musk had more in store. His gaze shifted to the manager. No one else should have to go through this, I hope. Such treatment should never happen to anyone. The manager, who was now perspiring profusely, gave a forceful nod. Without a doubt, Elon Musk, this will not occur once again. As he stood awkwardly by the door, his cheeks red with shame, Musk cast a final glance at the security guard. Everyone deserves respect, Musk emphasized. Then, with a final nod to Raheem, Musk made his way to the exit, the automatic doors opening behind him as he re-entered the bustling city streets. The entire store fell into a startled hush as Musk faded into the crowd. Raheem stood there, laptop clutched to his chest. What had transpired was still too unbelievable for him to believe. It was as if the whole event had happened in a dream or a movie. It made no difference anymore when other customers stared. A profound feeling of appreciation and amazement had supplanted the earlier shame. His mind froze for a second as he tried to take it all in. Silent and ashamed, the security guard who had earlier attempted to eject him now stood by silently. The manager was visibly distressed and attempted to entice Raheem with a complimentary house item, but Raheem declined. He only wanted to tell his mom what had occurred and get out of there. Thoughts were flying through Raheem's head as he stepped out of the store. Despite his first feelings of alienation upon entering the store, he emerged with a new laptop and a revitalized belief in his own value. It's not because of the laptop, but because a great man like Elon Musk had defended him when no one else would have made this an unforgettable moment. As the sun set that evening, Raheem settled into his comfortable chair, his new laptop propping up the kitchen table. His mother listened intently as he described what had transpired earlier that day. Her expression one of utter incredulity. Even he was unable to believe it. Everything was still a haze to him, as if it had happened to him instead of being some scenario from a popular internet story. His mother leaned in, her expression a blend of pride and worry. I hope you're doing well, Raheem. What Elon Musk accomplished, though, is quite remarkable. You are deserving of such admiration and more. In agreement, Raheem gave a nod. The free laptop and Elon Musk's generosity weren't the things that stayed with him the most, though. Refusing to back down from a fight for justice was the lesson he had learned. Musk had reassured him that he, like everyone else, had every right to be there. Even though it had been one of the most embarrassing moments of his life, he deserved to be there. Raheem eased his fingers over the glossy surface of the laptop as the night got calmer. No longer was it only an item of technology. It was a representation of something greater, a constant reminder that he belonged despite the world's efforts to convince him differently. People didn't only look at him suspiciously because he was a local child. Like everyone else, he deserved respect and opportunity. After that, Raheem's narrative became widely shared online. Soon after the incident, surveillance tape was made public. Headlines such as Elon Musk rescues teen from store began to circulate widely in the media and online. Global support for Raheem's story erupted as people shared his story to show how even the smallest acts of kindness, particularly from those in positions of authority, can have a profound impact on people's lives. A genuine transformation, however, occurred within Raheem. There was a marked change in him from the uncertain youth who had entered that store. He was now confident in his ability to speak out when it counted, and he had a voice to boot. As he reflected on the day as he lay in bed that night, gazing at the ceiling. As he started to come to terms with what had transpired, a gentle grin formed on his lips. Life had a peculiar knack for catching you off guard when you least anticipated it. With the knowledge that this was merely the start of something bigger, he went to sleep. Not even a security guard could bring him back to a sense of insignificance. Your presence here is greatly appreciated as you see this remarkable tale of strength, generosity, and metamorphosis. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if Elon Musk's compassionate act and Raheem's story moved you. Keep an eye out for more inspiring tales that make you question your assumptions and encourage you to do the right thing. One narrative at a time, we may unite in honoring humanity's finest qualities.